It is December, which means time to sell all the stuff. And what should you be selling on December on eBay? That is what we are going to talk about today. So hello, everyone. I am Prof Sales. This is the Prof Sales YouTube channel.
And I'm Just Ask Kaaren.
And welcome to the channel, the show. This actual video is being recorded live with a live chat stream, which you can join us on any time you like on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to have you. But if you have a question or comment that we don't get to, or you can't make the live show, just leave it down below. Leave a like, leave a question, leave a comment, and we'll do our best to answer if we can, or maybe somebody else will be able to answer.
I can't believe you said sell all the stuff. I wonder how long it'll take somebody to correct that. Do we sell all the stuff, people?
I didn't want people. Yeah, I didn't want to say the other word, the T word. But today, we're glad you guys are here. So I've had a little bit of a cold or something the past week.
Cooties.
My voice probably sounds a little weird. She got me sick. Just kidding. She didn't get me sick.
Tell the truth.
But you didn't get me sick.
Tell the truth how you got sick.
I don't know how I got sick.
Daycare and
Germs?
airplanes. Yeah, pretty much.
Daycare and airplanes. That's right. But we're going to talk about, on this channel, we talk about being positive and being a reseller, being an entrepreneur, your mindset, you know, how, and fostering community here on YouTube. I think YouTube is great for fostering communities, and we do our best to do that. And we talk a lot about selling on eBay, Amazon, the e-commerce platforms that are out there. And this show today is about what to sell on eBay in December. Now, this particular show might be different for you depending on where you live, this topic a little bit. But since, you know, these days you can ship worldwide, you can sell things worldwide, I don't think it is that different. There's some good reasons why December is a little bit of a different month than the other months of the year. It's a different month, don't you think?
It's the most wonderful month of the year.
That sounded not at all.
The most wonderful day of the year.
But anyway,
Christmas.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about why December is different, and we'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this too. So again, in the chat that's going on, the live chat, leave a comment or leave a question, and we'll do our best to answer it. We're going to try not to get too far off topic until we get a little further in the show. We're going to have questions today, your viewer questions, your comments. We're going to show some of those. And I don't know what else we'll talk about. It's Friday, right?
There's no telling. There's hugs for all my friends in the chat.
Hugs for all. So why is December different than any other month? Why do you think, Kaaren?
For the holidays. Hello.
And what about the holidays? Well, but not everybody celebrates a holiday, right?
Yeah, but I guarantee you that everyone is affected by them, whether they celebrate them or not. It's kind of like the week that school starts, right? You notice that the traffic patterns change. Well, I guarantee you that in wherever you live, the holidays are going to affect travel, your day-to-day getting around, even the internet is affected.
No, you're absolutely right. And today is December 1st, 2017, and we thought it would be a great time to talk about this month of December and why we think it's a little different. So I remember my retail management days that, contrary to popular belief, the busiest day of the year when you're in retail is usually the Saturday before Christmas. And if Christmas falls on a Saturday, then that Friday can be pretty massive as well. But that Saturday, that weekend before Christmas, is enormous. And usually that Saturday is the biggest day of the retail year. So depending on what day of the week Christmas falls on, that, you know, that could be anywhere from a week to just a day before Christmas. But in any case, it's a huge day. And I think that a lot of people, you know, in the holidays give gifts. It's really that simple. There's a lot of religious traditions that celebrate the holidays. But even those people who are not religious often celebrate this time of year as a gift-giving season, probably more so than any other. You know, I mean, there's Valentine's, of course, there's birthdays throughout the year, things like that. But this particular part of the year is a gift-giving season. So what does that mean to you, a reseller on eBay? Why should you care? What should you do? So let's talk about gifts.
All right. What kind of gifts do you think people are looking for?
this is going to be funny to ask, but how many times have you gotten a gift that's not new?
We've had this conversation before, and I want to plead the fifth. Because I, you know, sometimes I get gifts that are regifted.
Regifted, but that doesn't mean they were necessarily used.
I'm not a good example for this one because you know where
disregard
my
Kaaren's
people come from.
Part of the gene pool here. But
so his point is, when people are searching for gifts online, the majority, it's safe to say, are looking for something new.
Ooh, concert.
Oh.
Yeah, gifts tend to be new overall. It's if you're going to buy something for somebody, you may buy something pre-owned, but not likely. Gifts are rarely pre-owned. Now, there are exceptions to that. If you give something away to somebody that you've had before, that's different. But if you're just going online, shopping on like Cyber Monday we had earlier this week, or you're hitting the shopping malls or you're hitting websites, typically what you're going to find are new things. And on eBay, 85% of the items that are sold and listed on eBay at any one time are new, contrary to what a lot of us here in the reseller community run into. Most of the items on eBay are new. Most of the items on Amazon are new. So, and the other platforms as well. Now, that doesn't mean there's not still a market for vintage and collectible. There is, but we're talking about gift season right now. We're talking about gift giving season, which really starts in November and runs into December. December is the biggest month. So gifts tend to be new and not pre-owned. Those are two important facts. Gifts also tend to be trendy.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on that.
What's the trendy gift this year? I want to hear in the chat what gift or what item is out there is a must-have for you, or you know somebody who said, oh, I'd really like to get this. What is this? I don't even know. I'm so out of it.
I don't know that I know either. I haven't been told. You know, typically there's some bolo that comes up, or somebody else's, you know, flips a switch on what we want, right?
Every year, though, there's trendy items. There's trendy items for kids. There's trendy items for adults. There's just trendy items. And gifts tend to be these trendy items because you haven't had them before, because they weren't necessarily trendy before. They didn't exist. Someone said fingerlings. I don't even know what those are. I think there's some kind of toy. The iPhone 10. I'm not going to say that one. Clarence Ninja. Vintage games, I think, and leather coats. Socks. Are socks that trendy? Maybe they are. We need Kelly in here. Where's Kelly?
Where's Kelly when we need her?
Our sock goddess. I wouldn't mind a used car. Deb Smith says that's great. Yeah. Big, huge gifts like a car are a little different. Like those could be pre-owned, but we're talking about things that you could actually ship in the mail, that you might find under the tree, that you might give to somebody. New socks, and so on.
Cooper needs a new Toyota. Would someone please just give Cooper a new Toyota?
Yeah, so, but they tend to be these trendy items, things that have come out recently in recent weeks or months, and they just become hot. And they're usually hot for like a season, especially if it's a toy, but then they go away. Like they don't, rarely do you see an item be trendy year after year after year. That is kind of rare with any item, especially if it's a game or a toy or a gadget. So let's see if anybody else had any things here. Nice. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna let some of those go for now.
The women's jeans guide. I agree. That is the trendy item of the season. Why did you just shake your head?
Because I see who wrote that. There's actually a trendier thing we're going to talk about later.
Well, anyway, a baby gate. Well, and that's not necessarily trendy, but you need a baby gate. Of course, you need a baby for that. Well, I guess you technically don't. Or a puppy. Puppies are good.
I've owned more baby gates for puppies than I have for little humans.
Pets are always trendy, I think.
Yeah. Can I have a puppy for Christmas?
Yes.
You heard it.
She's the one who doesn't want it. Let's be clear. But gifts tend to be trendy items, so you need to think about that too. So given those factors, it's this time of year to sell certain things, and we've already talked about some of them. So I'm going to list off some things that I think are really good to sell in December.
Can I be a master of the obvious?
Yes.
Things that are new in a box. Top of the list, right?
Because they're new, right? So if you, and we'll talk about some strategies here in a moment for how to sell these things, but anything that you've got that's new in a box, this is a great time to sell because people are looking for new. We've already established that. It's that time of year. They might buy it used in March or June, but right now, people love to find new stuff and they love to find it, for a good deal. We'll talk about that as well. Electronics.
Yeah, a couple of folks mentioned in the chat already, electronics.
Electronics are good year round. Electronics is kind of a wide category. I mean, you could throw in electronics, all kinds of things, and it ties in really closely with number 3, which is technology. Because a lot of electronics are taking advantage of technology, but there's certain electronics that aren't, like people like TVs. I don't really consider a TV that much a technology item anymore. It's just more like a staple.
Wouldn't it be cool if we could give the gift of technology? That's the knowledge of technology. You know what I'm saying?
The knowledge of tech.
Could we give certain people the ability to know the technology? That would come in handy, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But electronics and technology, they kind of go hand in hand. So there's going to be a lot of similarities there. Toys, no brainer. I mean, Christmas time, especially, a lot of people celebrate Christmas. The Jewish tradition has its gift giving. There's some other traditions that do as well this time of year. And toys are always a hit with kids.
Yeah. Games are. And
games.
Board games, electronic games, video games.
Yeah, I think games are kind of underrated because games now, when I was a kid, it seemed like games were mainly played by kids. But now there's a lot of games out there for adults.
There are.
Which now are the people who were the kids back then. But there's a lot of, which I just dated myself, but there's a lot of games that adults like as well. So finding games, by the way, is not impossible, especially new. I mean, especially some of the places a lot of us source. We do find games new, and maybe you've had them. Well, we'll get to strategies here in a minute. Excuse me. Talk.
All right. So after games, what about books? Timeless books are awesome gifts, and a lot of resellers do a lot of book business online, eBay as well as Amazon. Right? That's how Amazon got started, as a bookseller.
Yeah, books are always. You can give hardcover books. Obviously, you can give digital books as well, but we're talking about actual items here. So we would be talking about very specific books. And books can be new, or they can look new sometimes. That's kind of tricky to figure out if a book is new.
But a book is easy to flip as close enough. I mean, I know we're stressing more new items here, but I think a book is kind of enough in that gray area.
Yeah.
Where you could probably get away with, and it's easy to ship as well.
Oh yeah, super easy.
We haven't even talked about some of that stuff, but a lot of these new in a box items, just by virtue of how they're packaged, lends themselves easily to how you ship them, and that's part of the process. So there you go.
Right, exactly. So with all those things that you might want to consider selling right now, what are some suggestions that we came up? We have some suggestions we came up with for what some strategies you might want to employ to take advantage of this month, this time of year. So the first bullet is to go through your back stock and pull out the categories of items that are hot right now. The books, the games, the toys, the new in the box, the electronics, the tech. Pull those out and get those ready to be listed.
Right, because those items in particular should be at the top of the list. You should prioritize whatever is in your possession that is at the top of the list.
And we were just talking about that with some things that you have that are new that we're going to list this month because that's what people are looking for.
Yep, and one of the things that we used to do when Ben was little was we would buy extra Lego sets, or we would buy, like in this case, I have this really cool, I grew up playing with little people, and I have this little people nativity. It advanced a lot since I was a kid. It's more than just the barn door that makes a cow sound, but this nativity set is new in a box. It's probably about 10 years old. And I pulled it out of Christmas storage the other day. And, we bought it with the intent to sell it someday. But we have all of these things that we sort of bought as, I don't know, investments. But we bought them, we set them aside with the intent of selling them somewhere down the line. Same thing with Star Wars. I have a ton of Star Wars
right.
guys and games and things like that. So for me, that was my go-to. The Christmas pile, lots of new in the box stuff there, as well as games and things like that.
Yeah. So getting those new items and pulling those to the front of your sourcing priority is what you should be focusing on. And as far as sourcing goes, look to source new seasonal items. Those could even be things like Christmas decorations. They could be things, the list we just talked about, books and games, new in the box, toys, tech. I mean, those sorts of items, if you are outsourcing right now, that's what I would focus on.
Well, yeah, because you're not you know, we talk sometimes about how with clothing resellers in particular, you know, if you're going to sell all the clothes, you know, you're going to have a market at certain times of the year, more so for shorts, say, but then it's always summer somewhere. So there's somebody that can always tie into your shorts stock, right?
Right.
But in this case, we're talking about prioritizing those seasonal things like this nativity or a toy or things that fall into these categories to help you sell faster.
That's a good
right?
point.
And that's focusing on the sourcing and the inventory in particular. But there's also things to suggest that will help you be better as a seller and how you can process those things, right?
Right.
And we talk a lot about, you know, when you make a listing, what can you do to sort of make yours sparkle a little bit more? And I'm not talking about emojis in an item title or something like that, but there's certain things like, what about free shipping or fast shipping, right?
Right. And those are our next couple bullet points. I mean, this is the time of year, guys, to offer, if you haven't been, one-day handling or same-day handling. Now, I know that's a stretch for a lot of you, especially if you're not full-time as a reseller to be able to do that. But people want this stuff yesterday. I mean, they don't want to wait. And you're up against other e-commerce platforms that are offering those shipping methods too. If you haven't tried one-day business handling, this is the time to try it, or even same-day potentially. You know, just make it a part of your day. Wake up 20 minutes earlier. I don't know what it'll take in your specific situation, but just get stuff gone out the door. And like Kaaren said, faster shipping methods, such as offering expedited services. If people are willing to pay for it, and they are this time of year, why not do it? They're probably not going to buy a pre-owned pair of jeans and get it overnighted. But
if they want to pay a lot of money for it.
Well, they really do. But you know, some other items, like people will wait till, you know, the 21st to buy something and need it by the 24th or wait till the 22nd even. And they will often, it could come down to the decision, but whether they buy from you or someone else is just, they have a faster shipping method than you. So why not, if you're selling these seasonal items, you know, put on their, you know, expedited shipping methods, even if people are willing to pay for it.
Well, and I think that, and it's come up in the chat a couple of times, if your entire experience for Christmas or holiday shopping time is just going to the mall and just being inundated with all the crowds, like if you've never worked retail during this time of year, I think you lack a certain appreciation for the sense of urgency that just hovers around these holidays. And if you can, and you know, I had a retail store for many years, and we did the bulk of our business. Our year was this month, December. So knowing that, in suggesting to you that you offer these better services, or at least at a minimum stay on top of the good service that you offer, it's going to matter. Our point is that in this time of year, there is this frenzy, and that you need to acknowledge their sense of urgency and be prepared. Just, you know, gut it out for the next couple of weeks, because you might have to work a little harder or a little, maybe even a little different than what you're used to, but it is what it is. December is this monster month for sales. It always has been. It always will be. And eBay or Amazon or whatever your platform is shouldn't be any different. Just be prepared to take it up a notch.
And speaking of shipping, keep an eye on the calendar. People are going to ask you to ship things by certain deadlines, sometimes even after they've bought them, that aren't possible. You know, if somebody buys something from you the morning of December 24th, it's not getting to them, you know, that night. I mean, that's not going to happen. So you really, you really need to keep an eye on that calendar and talking about, you know, whether, because people will ask you, hey, can you get this to me by a certain date if I pay for this shipping option? So that's something you're going to need to have to research from time to time. They're going to ask you those questions. And if you don't answer them, they'll just move on to another buyer or another seller. And if you do answer, you want to give them a legitimate answer. If you can't get it to them, if there's no way to get it shipped to them fast enough by their timeline, tell them that. Like, you don't want to disappoint someone and say, yeah, I think it'll get to you. It says 2 to 3 days, but it's usually 2. This will be the time it'll be 3. And, you know, you're going to be out of luck and you're going to get a return because it was too late, or you're going to get a bad feedback.
Well, and that's a really good point. And West Virginia Thrifter says that they're seeing some listings say delivery by Christmas, and they're shipping within 1 day and offering USPS Express for flat rate. But get this, at some point, as we get closer to the day, let's say the day is Christmas.
Right.
As we get closer to that day, here's something that becomes out of your control. The post office gets backed up. Lines become longer, the funnel gets smaller, the time frames on guaranteed deliveries, they get pushed back.
Yeah,
so
they're getting pushed too. Yeah.
We don't want you to find yourself, you know, 2 days before Christmas thinking you've got it made because this is a 2-day priority mail. It's not going to be a 2-day shipment. It's just not, because you're so close and there's so much volume coming through the post office right now.
Right.
That's got to be something that you consider.
And, you know, I was just looking at the calendar. Christmas is on a Monday this year, the 25th.
Oh, wow.
Which means Sunday is the 24th. That is not a day that typically post offices necessarily are fully staffed. They do process things on Sundays. They even deliver mail on Sundays. But I've noticed on Sundays, our mail usually always comes late, and they don't have as big of a crew working necessarily. So that's something to keep in mind. Somebody was saying that they're seeing listings saying delivered by Christmas. I mean, you could put that in your listing. You could. The challenge is you're going to have to go in at some point on the 22nd or 23rd, somewhere around there, whatever your time frame is, and take that out of all those listings. That's tricky. I mean, because you don't, I mean, I can just see somebody saying, oh, I ordered this on December 24th and they said delivered by Christmas, and they didn't get it. You know, and you've basically told the buyer something that wasn't true because you forgot to take it out. So I'd be very careful doing that. Somebody said eBay is putting this in the listings. Yeah. I mean, you know, eBay's guaranteeing the shipping. If they're doing it, great. But if you're doing it on your own, that's the point where you'd have to be able to, you know. And yes, Skip, we do get mail on Sunday.
It's crazy.
I've been for a while now, a few years, actually. Now, I don't think everybody does. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's not a regular mail delivery
I
day.
think our poor little post office is so inundated, they have to deliver on Sunday or they never get it. I mean, I really think that post office is crazy busy all the time, for the most part. So keeping an eye on the calendar, that's important. Focus on your questions for motivated buyers. You're going to have people are going to ask you, hey, is this really new in the box? Hey, is this blue? Hey, is this model? Hey, is this that? Those people right now, this time of year, you should treat them as a sale waiting to happen. Like, they're not just playing around and just kind of, you know, curious. They want to buy your item. So when you're getting those questions, and I'm the worst, I'm not the greatest I'm not a great role model here to say, hey, I get up every day and answer every single eBay question I get, because it can be overwhelming after a while. But this time of year, especially around those newer items and so on, you should, because those people are asking a question because they are really interested and they're probably feeling the crunch of time to get that item. So you need to go in and answer them.
Well, and here's the thing with that motivated question asker. I guarantee you, if they found 2, or you wait too long to answer them, guess what? They've got money that they're ready to pay, and they're going to give it to somebody else. So again, you have to be timely. You have to be better than timely. Just sort of stay on top of that. Maybe you already have that as a practice now, but if you don't, like you said, you're not the best at it. Maybe you can just sort of be on the lookout for those questions, because those people want to give you their money. And if you don't answer them quick enough, they're going to give it to someone else.
Yeah, and somebody was asking about Sunday mail delivery. I just looked it up on the USPS website. They say due to package growth, particularly during the holiday season, the postage service will deliver packages in major cities and high volume locations to keep the network clear and moving. Don't they already deliver on Sundays? Yes, they deliver priority mail express and certain Amazon Express certain Amazon packages on Sundays. And due to the increased package volume, they're expanding the types of packages that will be delivered on Sundays. And they've done this before in some local areas with high volume. So yeah, mail does get delivered, especially in high volume locations and larger cities. Mail does get delivered on Sundays. But that brings up an interesting conundrum. If you've got an item and December 24th is on a Sunday this year, will somebody get it in time for Christmas Eve? It gets kind of tricky. So
I don't even know what that means.
Krillin, thank you so much for the super chat. And Krillin's a great friend of the channel and has a question. Did you hear that Gomer Pyle died? I feel like this is a joke, but maybe not. Jim Neighbors, right? I think that's his name, the actor. No, I did not hear that. So, oh, he was 87. Well, okay. All right. Not totally unexpected, I suppose, but I always thought he was a pretty funny guy. The last tip we're going to give you guys for how to handle your December sales. Go ahead.
Well,
you're going to say something.
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
Check prices daily to remain competitive. Prices change tremendously on items this time of year because a lot of sellers out there do not want to be stuck with, you don't want to be stuck with the trendy hot new toy on December 26th because nobody's buying it then. I mean, a few people will buy it, but not many. So you got to check your prices on a daily basis, or you're going to leave a lot of money on the table on things that you could have sold because you're just maybe a little off with your price.
Yeah, and whatever tip you get or bolo that you get, you don't want to be stuck with a pile. What was the thing? The egg things. I don't even remember.
Hatchimals.
Yeah, so
I think they're still popular.
They are, but it was kind of a thing because everybody rushed to Barnes and Noble to get them because they, put them on clearance or whatever. And then you had people that went all in, like to the tune of thousands of dollars of these Hatchimals, or whatever the heck they were. And you get stuck. And who wants shelves full of, little weird hatching animal toy thingies, right? I'm just saying it's good because you're going to roll the dice on some of this stuff, the trendy stuff in particular, and you have to stay on top of it. We don't always recommend, making yourself crazy with the fluctuations of price, but this time of year, it could make a huge difference in your bottom line, depending upon how much in you go to certain items. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So Clearance Ninja says, what should we be searching for after Christmas to sell buying on clearance? Christmas decorations, if you want to hold them. Aaron says Legos. Sure. I mean, for the next year.
Always Legos.
Legos are a good investment in general. You could take some risk on that. You could risk some capital on things that you think that will be valuable the next year. Christmas decorations are like stores mark down their Christmas decorations dramatically. Now, the challenge with that is are you going to make enough on most of them by buying them at say 50% off and selling them, next year? You might, depends on the item, but a lot of those things, the margins would be kind of thin because they're just not that expensive in the first place.
Right. And the trick, and we've talked about this before, the trick with the clearance stuff is that one, you have to have the capital to do it. Like you have to be able to tie up your money for another 9 months. Well, and that's another thing, the space, because depending upon what you're buying, and it's a great idea if you can do it. Like you need space and you need money to do it, because if it's a seasonal item, like if it's a Christmas specific decoration or a collectible or something like that, you might have some trickle sales over the year for just hardcore collectors.
Right.
But there's more of a push for those seasonal items in the actual season. So it's a good idea, but just make sure that you're not using up all your extra capital on that December stuff now, because that it also begs the question, you know, okay, we're through December, we're through fourth quarter, now we're starting a new year. How do we get back to the machine, feeding the machine and getting money and reinvesting it and doing all of the things in concert once again?
Yeah, and Illinois Picker says sometimes you can get those Christmas clearance up to 90% off. Yeah, I think at 90% off, it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a lot of that stuff, if you have the patience and time. You know what, those would also be good if you had, say, like a booth somewhere, or you sold at flea markets,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're selling locally. You know, you had a way to do that. Those would be good too. I don't know that the eBay model makes quite as much sense for some of those things. The more expensive ones, yes, but you know, if you're buying lights for $2 and going to sell them for $6, you know, I don't know. It's like, I don't know that it makes a whole lot of sense just because of the time and energy to deal with it. But if you're selling those locally and you're selling them in batches, that's different, and would definitely be worth it. So, but I want to thank you guys. We have almost 100 people watching, Kaaren.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, that is amazing here on the middle of the day on a Friday. And I really appreciate you guys coming out. I know it's been, I know it's fourth quarter.
Well, and I'm surprised nobody asked you for a doctor's note, right?
Oh, it's been a rough, I started getting sick on Thanksgiving, and you can still hear my voice is not right. I still have stuff, but I've been sick for a bit. We appreciate you guys coming out. And if you guys are enjoying the video,
how would a Christmas pirate? How the heck do I do channel my inner?
You're like Santa doing a pirate.
No, please don't let me stop you.
Merry Christmas. I don't care. That was terrible. I can't even do it.
That's the funniest thing I've seen today. You just did Santa pirate, and I didn't have to do it.
Hit the like button. I don't even know. Santa doing the like.
We're gonna get you like a red sequined eye patch now, so you're gonna be like sparkly Santa pirate. Ho ho ho.
You always wink every time you do it. Have you ever noticed that? You're like, ah.
It's involuntary. It's like I get a pirate thing
like
going
a twitch.
on here.
But yeah, hit the like button, guys, if you are enjoying the content. And we'll try to pull it together here for the rest of the time we have.
Oh, why? Once it goes off track, why don't we just roll with it? What the heck? There's other things we want to talk about, right?
Well, there are a few other things. Let me.
How are we doing on time?
Well, we're actually doing pretty well on time, Kaaren. It's funny that you asked that. So, but we hope you guys are having a great start to your December. I know it's December 1st today. And let's see here. I wanted to tell you guys about something that's pretty cool, that I think is pretty cool. Oh. Some of you already know this, that if you, hang on one second here. Just let me pull this up.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to do something and you're getting in my way. No, I'm just kidding. You're not in the way at all.
I'm just sitting here. I haven't moved.
But somehow that's in the way. Yes.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, some of you already know that I just started the pre-orders for the new spreadsheet that will track your eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, whatever platform you're selling on, your sales. And I put this out last year. I had showed the spreadsheet that I used an awful lot on videos, and people kept asking me, hey, put this out, put it out. And I did. And a lot of people found a lot of value in it. And this year I thought, you know, I need to up the ante a bit. I need to up the game quite a bit. And I thought, what am I going to do? Like, how can I do this in a way that I think that people will really appreciate? And I think I did. Yeah. I think I succeeded. So the new spreadsheet is up. I'm going to put a link here in the chat if you guys are interested. And you'll want to, I just started taking pre-orders yesterday or the day before. And that link in the chat, and there's also one in the description below, you can pre-order it. If you use the offer code Prof Sales 2018, you'll get 25% off, which I think is a good value. And some of you probably already got emails from me on the spreadsheet. If you did, that's fine too. But I just want to say that I put a lot of work into this, honestly. And it's got some things that are a bit different and a bit better value, I think, than the one I did even last year. First of all, you can track the next 10 years of your results with it. So theoretically, you're never going to have to buy another thing for 10 years to track your e-commerce selling. No gimmicks there, nothing hidden there. It's good for 10 years. It will track your inventory. So you can enter all of your inventory easily into the sheet. It has a pretty intuitive system. It also tracks your sales. It tracks your sales, and the sales is a big link doesn't exist. Oh, that's
oh,
really
well,
weird.
there you go.
Oh, silly Gumroad. Oh, sorry about that. Let me. Oh, I think I know why. Hang on. Yeah, sorry, I put the wrong link there, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot the.
What is this? Your first rodeo?
That's the same link. That should be working.
Well, apparently it's not.
Okay, well, the one in the chat's not working. So anyway,
the code works.
The code works.
We'll figure it out.
But I wanted to say that, like, when you go to enter an item with this new sheet, which is what's really cool, if you put in just the SKU number, whatever your SKU number is, you can make up whatever number you want. Say you sell item number 56. You put in 56, it will pre-populate the info for that item that you've already saved in your inventory page, which I think is really cool. You'll still have to put in what you sold it for and shipping charge and the date. But it'll have in there what the item is and your other specifics, the platform, how much you paid for it. That automatically gets put in when you enter in that SKU number, which I think is a nice upgrade. No, you don't have to copy and paste all that info, so that cuts down on errors. The Windows version actually allows you to put the inventory itself in. It actually brings up a form, and you can enter the items in each form. So for each item, you can just do that. You can put quantities now. So you don't have to put like separate lines for every single one, unless you really want to. You can still do that. So I think those are all some nice upgrades to it. There's also some cool. There's a cool chart and pie chart and line diagram that shows you your sales, your profit over time, and you can select any of the 10 years you want to see that. So you can see it visually as well as just the numbers, of course. And there's just a lot of cool little things about it that we changed and tweaked and added, and it was just, you know, what you guys' input was. So I think it's a really I think it's a nice way to get something that's cheap, that's affordable. It's not subscription based. It's not a big, nobody's asking you for hundreds of dollars or $100 or anything like that. It does work only for Excel. It may work in Google Sheets. I don't know 100%. The challenge always is that sometimes formulas in one spreadsheet don't always translate exactly to another one on another platform. I cannot say if it will work in those. I feel like it would work with maybe a little modification here or there, but I don't think too much. But, you know, if you guys are interested in it, check it out. The link's down below. I'm using the exact version that you guys that is on that link. So I've been transporting all my info into that one. So I will share, as soon as I finish that import, I will share that info with you guys and share with you mine, so you can kind of see what it looks like in action. The cool thing I'm doing a little different about this one is that last video, or the last time I did this, I did create a video tutorial for people that when you downloaded the spreadsheet, you could watch the video. What I've found is it's still, sometimes people would lose that link or they'd forget. There'd still be questions. So what I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to list, is that there's going to be a link here on YouTube. And you will be able to come to the YouTube video. You'll be able to post questions right there on the video. I will see, I always review all questions and comments first anyway. So I will see when your question or comment gets posted. I'll be able to answer you right there on the thread. And other users will be able there too, and to be able to chime in on their experience. So I think that'll kind of create like a little community around the product, which I think is kind of cool. I was going to do it on Facebook, but I figured everyone's got access to YouTube. Not everyone has a Facebook account. So I think that will be kind of cool. That way you guys will be able to, you know, go in there, and if you have a question or you have a comment, you'll be able to leave it right there for me. And I'll be able to see it. And you can rewatch the tutorial part. I'll go in there and index it the times, you know, like, hey, at this time code, I talk about this time code, I talk about that. And you guys can watch anytime you want. So anyway, the link is in the description below. Sorry, it didn't work so well in the chat window. I don't know why it didn't. But
all right, stop talking for a second. So we don't sell a lot of things on this channel. I think the spreadsheet and the gene guide are 2. That's it, right?
That's pretty much been it.
Okay, so this spreadsheet is pretty cool. You've put hours and hours and hours into it. I'm very proud of you. It's very impressive. You know a lot about Excel, and he actually went to someone, if you can believe this, that knows even more about Excel. And all of these new sort of bells and whistles are a really, really nice, smooth, logical upgrade.
Better too, yeah.
Yeah, it does look better. Not that the not that the other one didn't. But it's really smart and it's really easy to use. And I asked him to give it to me, and I'll try to break it. And so far, I haven't. So.
And that's impressive because she breaks a lot of things.
There's that.
But anyway, let's see.
Oh, am I done talking about the spreadsheet now?
No, well, no, we got to move on to other items. We got viewer mails.
But Sarah had
I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Sarah had a question. Sarah, hi, Sarah.
And people are answering her.
Okay, well, we could answer. Do we have a different answer?
When you offer free shipping and use GSP, how's that free shipping work? Do you pay all the shipping or just to get it to Kentucky? And then Hank even answered, said, you, the seller, offer free shipping on item. If you buy the global shipping, you'll print the label, pay whatever it costs to ship to Kentucky. That's correct. Yep, Hank's right. Yeah, you can offer free shipping, but you're still going to have to get it to Kentucky. And she's going to pay, I'm pretty sure, Hank, that the buyer will pay the customs part and the eBay part of that. Mm-hmm. But she'll just have to get it to Kentucky.
And the school of thought usually is most international sales don't go through the returns policy. Like statistically speaking, there's not a high return rate because it's expensive, right?
Right.
So.
Right.
I'm not saying they won't return it, but that's.
Right. They typically don't.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's share a few comments and questions. We'd love hearing from you guys. So I thought I would share a few. It's been a little while since we did that. Let's see here. First up, we have one from Ms. Zoll on our how listing every day might put you out of business.
All right, I'm going to read it.
You're going to read it?
I have to explain it because I don't remember this one. I liked your idea of changing the price, just like Amazon. Thanks for the advice.
So Ms. Zoll is referring to when we were talking about how on eBay, if you went in and changed your prices, that it kind of resets the algorithm somewhat, or at least makes eBay sort of re-index those listings. And it can help you get sales when maybe you weren't. And I think there's a lot of evidence to support that. And other people it's kind of interesting. I've been hearing other resellers and so on talking about that lately, which I think is kind of interesting too. So, but you're very welcome for that. And hopefully it was working great for you. So this next one is, let's see here. This one is from Christian Medina.
Do you have an updated version since you said that one is good till 2017? Oh, I see what you did there.
Well, that's about the spreadsheet that we had, and that was on a older video we did on the spreadsheet. That video was like 1.5 years ago.
Funny you should ask.
So we just talked about it, and it's down in the description below. And thank you, Red Neckerson's Resales, for the super chat. I love the $1.73. That is, it's like a gas price from the 1990s or something. I like it, like it's got a meaning, a specific meaning. I don't think we even know the meaning, do we? Have we ever figured out the meaning?
No.
Sometime we're gonna have to know the meaning, Red Neckerson's. I mean, I like it. But
enlighten us.
All right, so
one more.
There's 2 more actually.
Oh boy.
Two more comments,
my reading
questions.
Glasses on.
These are real questions from real people.
Classic rock lover with a name like that. One of my biggest challenges is getting and staying, this is for me, out of my own head. It's a learning process. Happy Thanksgiving. Look at that. That wasn't on purpose, was it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't on purpose. Staying out of your own head, staying out of your own way, overthinking things, thinking yourself right into failure at times. Man, it's like you just have to fight against that every single day. And I think all of us have to do that. We have to stay out of our own head, stay out of our own way, You will be your biggest critic. It won't be other people. You will be, because you're around yourself 24/7. There's other people you can get away from, but you can't get away from yourself. So you have to find ways and strategies to deal with being a little bit more positive and having a better outlook on what will happen.
And I've been spending a little bit too much time in my own head this week for sure. So there you go.
There you go.
One more.
One more. Last question, comment. Dun, 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 dun. Should I have a drum roll or something? No.
Brrr. Tina says, I know that's not what her last name is. eBay has been putting best offer on my listings, and then they email me and tell me that they did it because I've also found listings that they put best offer on and they didn't tell me. Very frustrating because it's my product and it looks bad on me if I get a best offer, but I want the price I had on it to begin with. Ah, nuts.
Yeah, that's an interesting problem, Tina. Or it was Tina, right? Mm-hmm. That's an interesting problem. I don't know what to tell you there, like why exactly they'd be putting best offer on your items and you didn't know. There is a way to go in and sort your listings and look for best offer. Mm-hmm. You can tell it to say, hey, show me all the ones with best offer. And if you see ones there that are not correct, you could go in and bulk edit those. But obviously that's a real challenge. And I'm not really sure why that's happening.
And we've heard it. It's happening to other people, and some other folks are chiming in on the chat as well. It's not just a Tina thing. It's happening.
Yeah. So other people have had issues with that. I think I don't know what the resolution is there. I mean, I feel like it's something on eBay's end potentially for that, but I also think that you have to be diligent on your end and making sure your listings are correct. It's their platform, but it's your business and your listings. So thank you very much, Connie, for the super chat. Thanks for all the good content. Connie CG Bar, second time around.
And when are you coming to visit us?
Yeah, that would be great. We haven't seen anybody in a while. We need to get out there, but we are talking about getting out there, aren't we?
Yeah.
I didn't even talk about that, did I?
No, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the super secret meetup in December, but we're planning a Durham meetup in. Oh, and then somebody's coming to see us. Remember, we haven't.
Oh yes. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, and that's one thing too, guys. I would encourage you to do after this fourth quarter is over, after December's over. Get out there and meet some people, go to some other places, network and connect with your fellow resellers and entrepreneurs, go to some other locations. There's a lot of value in that. I mean, if you have a business, it's a business trip, it's a business expense. So you'll be able to write off, some of the cost of it for sure. But, and make it about business. It's not just a personal trip. But I think there's a lot of value in that. So make sure you do that. And, great time to do that is in January and February, as long as you don't run into weather.
True.
Which is always a challenge.
Well, and it's always weather. So there you go.
All right. I think that's it.
Is it time?
It's Friday. It's almost time for the weekend. You got what, 3 weekends left before Christmas. So this is it. Get out there, get it done. List those new items, those in-demand items like we were talking about earlier in the broadcast. And I think you guys will see some great results.
Yeah, it's the first day of the last month of the end of the year, fourth quarter. Just make it the best that it can be.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we should be back on Monday, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend until then.
Happy sales to you. This is Ask Kaaren. Just Ask Kaaren, sorry.
And Prof Sales.
Saying good sales to you.